Hi, and welcome to the 5th video in my personal growth series that I hope will help you to become more successful in your business. As a business owner myself for many years, I understand the challenges that you face. Today I'll be sharing with you about work-life balance. I'm going to challenge some ideas that you may have relating to this topic. Government surveys show that self-employed business owners on average work longer than typical wage earners each week. You don't have to scratch too far beneath the surface with many business people before you'll hear a comment like, "I know I should be spending more time with my family," or "I wish I could spend more time with my family." Sometimes that's followed by a justification such as, "Still, I'm doing all of this for them." But if you've got kids, especially younger kids, they don't really know or care how much money you make in your business. The thing they want most from you is your time and attention. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that any sort of toy, electronic device, no matter how expensive or fancy, is an equal substitute for you giving your own time to your kids. On the other hand, you don't need to feel guilty about enjoying work. After all, isn't that the reason we started our own business in the first place? Some of us feel like we're hardwired for business. We're driven. If you're like that, then taking a year off to look after your kids full time would be a year of total frustration. Clearly, every individual and family needs to find the balance that's right for them. That's why it's called work-life balance. Swing the scales too far in one direction and you might be spending lots of great time with your family until the day the bank comes and repossesses your house because you haven't been making any money to pay the mortgage. But you don't want to swing the scales too far towards the other extreme. What's the point of working long hours, building a huge business and making millions of dollars if one day you come home to a large but empty house? I've always considered that one of my best business achievements in 32 years of business has been to maintain a good relationship with my family throughout these decades, not to mention staying married for 35 years and counting. How can you ensure that the same is true for you? I'm going to look at two aspects, work time and then family time, before bringing the two together. My first tip is that regardless of what you're doing, live fully in the moment. When you're at work, try to fully focus on that and try to limit your distractions from your personal life. Likewise, try not to take your work home with you, especially late at night. That's a recipe for poor sleep and ongoing stress-related problems. When you're at work, make the most of every moment. In the next two videos, I'll be sharing proven techniques for effectively allocating your work time. But for now, I'll just talk about one. It's something used by Action Coach called the Fun Skill Matrix. Imagine a chart with the origin point representing tasks that are low fun and require low skill. Fun increases along the vertical axis and skill increases along the horizontal axis. What tasks should you be spending most of your time on? The ones in the far top right corner. They're the tasks that you both enjoy most, because we invariably become good at what we enjoy, and that bring the greatest value to your business. These will be the higher level, higher skill tasks. Meanwhile, look at those tasks closest to the bottom left-hand corner of your matrix. You don't enjoy them, and they're lower skilled tasks. Hire new staff or delegate to existing team members to do those tasks. And you don't have to wait until you can afford to employ permanent staff to start doing this. Think laterally. There are plenty of offshore virtual assistants, contractors, and automated systems and other effective ways to stop having to do low-level, unenjoyable tasks and have them clogging up your day. Remember, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. No matter how wealthy you are, you've only got the same 24 hours in every day. Successful business people are never afraid to spend money to save them time. Of course, this is always in a calculated rather than reckless manner. Now let's talk about family time. Here's one of the best decisions that my wife and I made a few years after starting our second business. I had been working long hours for about 3 years, bootstrapping our media business from scratch. With only about a week off for holidays in each of the first 2 summers, we decided that we'd restructure our publication schedule so that we could take a full month-long block off work every summer. I still worked hard for the other 11 months of the year. In fact, having such a refreshing break let me work harder and not burn out. Meanwhile, our family enjoyed a great month-long holiday every year. We always went away for most, if not all, of this time every year. When our youngest daughter finished high school and turned 18, we booked what we thought would be our final family holiday, a big 5-week tour of Europe. But by then, our family holiday was so much a part of our DNA that we just kept having them. The only difference is now that our family is bigger, with sons-in-law and grandchildren, so we take shorter holidays and don't travel too far, because that best suits our current family situation. Another key to keeping your closest personal relationships strong is a concept that author Stephen Covey calls your emotional bank account. You have an emotional bank account with each relationship in your life. On any day, you're making deposits and withdrawals from this account, usually small ones. Sometimes you can't avoid a withdrawal. My plane home has been delayed. Sorry, but I'm going to miss Mary's birthday party. As long as you've been making regular deposits, there won't be any long-term harm done by this sudden withdrawal. So how do you make deposits? By understanding the other person in each relationship, keeping commitments, clarifying expectations, attending to the little things, showing personal integrity and apologizing to them when you do have to make a withdrawal. And life doesn't always have to be clearly divided into work time and family time. Sometimes you can create a third way and genuinely combine the two, family and business, in a mutually beneficial way. For example, many years ago, a good business acquaintance of mine, who we'll call Fred, did just that. Fred enjoyed sailing on the weekends whenever his busy work schedule allowed. One day, he suddenly suffered a serious injury that required him to be put into traction. There he was, one day flat out working, and the next day flat on his back, immobilized in hospital for something like 6 weeks straight or more. Fortunately, he fully recovered. But soon after that, Fred left his good job in the big company, sold his house in the big city, moved thousands of kilometers to start a new life, running a yacht chartering business in a tropical paradise. You get a lot of time to think, he said, about what you really want to do when you're just lying there on a hospital bed. Now, not everyone can follow Fred's path or would even want to, but the key to the story is not to think that you're obliged to work in your job or a business that you don't really enjoy, and that you'll only be able to really do what you like when some magical retirement date finally arrives. As a wise person once said, you're retired when you're already doing what you want to do. I hope this video has given you some useful ideas about how to successfully navigate the work-life balance challenge. In the next 2 videos in this series, I'm going to dig deeper into how to make the most effective use of your time. If you'd like to get my future videos as soon as they're posted, then please subscribe to my series. If you've benefited from this video, then please write a review and like this video on the screen below. Please contact me if you'd like a free 1-hour, one-on-one business coaching session with me. I believe that with passion, consistent effort and wise advice, you can succeed in your business. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you next time.